What's up everyone, it's Eugene. Today we are going to go chase wild horses. Not literally, we're not gonna go literally chase wild horses, but we are going to go find some wild horses in the west deserts of Utah. For those of you that are familiar with wild horses in Utah, you probably already know the whole spiel, but for those of you that aren't, there are several wild horse herds in Utah, one of which being the Oniqua herd, which is the easiest to find and also the largest. There are 400 plus horses in this herd, and from what I have experienced, because this is the second time I've gone to find this herd, they're very, very close to the road. You do not need to get off the dirt path very far, and we should be able to find them pretty easily. There are some challenges that we are going to be addressing today though. First challenge is that it rained. So since there's so much water everywhere, there's a really good chance that we might have a little bit of a harder time getting to the horse herd. Second challenge, the road is closed. I actually just pulled up and the road is closed to get to Faust. So we're gonna need to figure this out. Let's reconfigure our approach here. That's our road. It's closed. So I'm calling Seth right now to see if we can figure out another route.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, no, Abbey's right here too, but the road is closed to the Pony Express trail, so I'm trying to figure out an additional route to get to the Faust Pony Express area. All right, so we just watched a Subaru take the original route. I don't know what the original route is, but it looks like there's a dirt road that we can take, and so we're just gonna get behind this guy, see what happens. Hopefully this gets us to Faust, and if it doesn't, then fuck, you know, we're probably a little stuck, but screw it. Having some fun on dirt roads now. All right, so we're back on the Pony Express Road. I don't know if this guy actually knows what he's doing. I have a feeling that he might actually be ignoring some road signs, but luckily we're in a Rivian R1T. Luckily the Abbey, my friend who's also behind us caravanning, she's in a Ford Ranger. So if we run into anything that requires us to go into dirt roads, again, which we did, totally fine. I think we should be just fine. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Anyways, for a lot of you guys in Utah, or who have visited Utah, there's a lot of views here that you probably will never see unless if you go in this direction using this specific route. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and throw in as much of this as I can for you. What's up, everyone? We're here. Not here, actually. We're just at the Faust Pony Express Trail, and we just got our buddies coming up to connect with us as well. Abby's here. The gang's all here. We're in familiar territory now. This is getting closer and closer to the actual location of where we're trying to go, but if you look here, right about in there, in that valley right there, that's where we're trying to go, and that's where we should hopefully find some horses. Back at it again. We're currently arriving to the HMA, or the herd management area. I'm just taking a look here to see what we can find. So we're right there. We just got through Lookout Pass. I have a feeling what we're trying to get to is somewhere around here. So we're just gonna stay on the Pony Express Road, see what happens. Cool. Come back here. As previously discussed, we originally saw the horses in this location when we came last time. Look at this fucker. Anyways, so we just had a quick powwow and discussion about the fact that the last time we did this, we had already started seeing wild horses, especially in this area already. So, somewhat concerned that we're not going to be able to find the horses. I mean, we're holding out hope. We're going to give it another 5 miles on the dirt road. We're heading towards Simpson Springs, which is where we saw the majority of the horses last time. So, gonna give that a shot. See you soon. Quick heads up, we have eyes on a small portion of the herd. It looks like we have just passed by about 30 or so horses, which is encouraging. Means that we're actually a little bit closer than we thought. So hopefully there's quite a bit more. We just ran over fresh turds. All right, Seth's jumping in my car because I don't know if his clearance is good enough to get past. So they're gonna jump in and then we're gonna go for it. All right, so we are combining vehicles because the road looks like it could get kind of hairy, which is dope. And yeah, murdered. Put to rest. This herd was recently culled, according to Seth Maurer.
Like within a couple of years.
Within a couple of years. It was 2020, actually. I think they got rid of like 100 of them, and then they, what was it? They did some stuff to the mares. Like, they made it so the mares couldn't have... Yeah, they sterilized them, but they used a much more medical term to make it seem not so bad. By the way, this is Seth. That's Julia.
What's up?
That's Abbey. You guys have seen Abbey. These two are recently engaged. You can't tell, by the way, how far away she is from him, but recently engaged. Anyways, we're going to hoof it because we're not going to be able to get to those horses that are in the distance over there with the cars without disturbing a lot of nature, which we aren't here to do. So, hoofing it. All right, guys. Here we are. Walking. Nothing too crazy. It's actually pretty flat, which is nice. We're actually going downhill because we kind of went uphill a little bit, but we're getting closer to the herd. And from what I can tell, looks like 50 or so. There seems to be some calves in the herd as well. And it's colder. This morning there was snow on the mountain tops, which for me is extremely exciting because I love to ski. But it is a lot colder than I expected. So, what's up? Face is covered. Shout out to One Alpine. It's there. Here we are. A little bit closer this time. So I came over to try and get a really good angle of the horses. And I thought I had a pretty good buffer. And I think the horses either got comfortable or I'm in a really good patch of good grass, but I'm kind of a little encircled. So I'm gonna wait for these guys to get by me before I try and get out of here. The herd has opened up this direction. So I'm gonna start making a nice, slow. What's up, guys? I just want to take a quick second to debrief the wild horses in Utah. First, a few interesting facts about the Oniqua herd. One, it's not Oniqua, which I said in the video. Very wrong. It's Oniqua. Also, probably could be wrong, so feel free to correct me in the comments below. But the Oniqua horse herd has a very unique gene pool. They are horses that came with settlers, pioneers. They were also military cavalry horses. So very interesting history for those. I do recommend looking into it. There is limited public access to get into these horses. There's a single road that they do stay next to, which is the Pony Express Road. But after that, if they're not near the road, you do need to take dirt paths that are, or not dirt paths, but dirt roads that have already been either made or you have to hoof it. On this adventure, we did actually have to go about a mile to get to the horses off of the road that we were able to take. And interesting facts of this herd, they are very well suited for survival in the desert. So they don't need a lot of water, and they are able to forage very easily. And along with that, they are an important part of the ecosystem. Because of these horses, a lot of plants are able to disperse their seeds through their poop. There is some conservation items that I wanted to touch base on. Like I mentioned in the video, the BLM does round up the wild horse herds to manage the population. So like we had mentioned, they had culled about 100 horses, I think, in 2020. You are able to adopt a horse. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to keep it, but you can pay $125, which helps with conservation efforts for these horses. Part of it is population control, and it is important for ensuring that these horses have a wild and healthy life. Some challenges that we faced finding these horses. As you guys already know, they were not on our standard beaten path. We did actually have to search a little bit more than we had originally anticipated. Like I mentioned before, the first time that we went and found these horses, they were everywhere. We were driving down the road and there was horse after horse after horse. And then this time around, I'm not sure if it was because of the water. There was a storm the night before, but the horses were not off the road, and they were actually kind of hard to see. We were lucky that we did see them when we did, because we might have gone quite a bit further and not actually seen any horses if we had stayed on our path. Hoofing it, not entirely too terrible to have to walk. I mean, honestly, it was great to get out of the car. It is about an hour drive to get out there, and a little bit longer if you get to the road that was closed. But overall, I mean, somewhat challenging, but not really. I do recommend, people do go out and do experience this, but I think a very important thing to keep in mind is that you want to leave a minimal impact. Obviously, pack out whatever you take in. Try to follow the horse paths so that you're not disturbing crypto-organic dirt, and stay on the road. If there's not already a path there, don't drive on it. I feel like that's kind of a no-brainer. For the Rivian crowd, I was able to get out there in a single charge. I charged to full. I used all-purpose, and I returned with 75 miles left, which was actually a pleasant surprise. I was able to actually go to dinner after and not have to charge. So overall, a pretty simple journey to go on. But like I mentioned before, please be respectful of nature, be respectful of the wild horses. Don't get too close. I will admit I made a mistake of actually putting myself into what I believe was a very tasty patch of grass. I did end up getting pretty well surrounded and did have to wait. There were portions in the video where I discussed that, but the wind was extremely loud and it kind of drowned me out. But I did find myself surrounded for about 10-20 minutes. Luckily, I was not a threat. Looking back on this journey, I really do feel like it was spiritual in its own way. I'm not somebody that kind of touts that around, but there was moments where, you know, like I mentioned, I was surrounded by the horses, and I did have one actually come up and sniff me. Kind of scary, kind of cool. Looking towards the future, please keep an eye out for my next video. The next video is going to be documenting my journey down to Joe's Valley Festival, which is a bouldering festival down in Castledale, Utah. For those of you that aren't familiar, Joe's Valley is a world-class bouldering location, and Joe's Valley Festival has been happening for years. I'll be down there peddling coffee, but along with that, I will be taking my Rivian, I will be taking our camper trailer, I will be documenting the travel experience, because this will actually require me to charge. This will actually require me to be a little bit more cognizant of my trip, because I will be towing to Price, which for those of you that are familiar, it's a lot of uphill, and my hope is that I am not going to blow through my charge. Thank you everyone for watching. If you've enjoyed what you saw, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment. And if you think of anything that I could be doing differently in these videos, please let me know. At the end of the day, this is a learning experience for me. I am not, as you can probably tell, I don't do a lot of YouTube videos, but I am trying to get better at it. So I am absolutely open to feedback and hope that you guys are able to share.